Let's talk about sex. It's time we slice through the smoke and mirrors, go down the hidden desert of love and relationships. Because we've got new.
So you were shagging illegally for 3 solid years. I don't know what you mean. I never shagged.
I thought I was a virgin.
Such a virgin.
Your mumu button is in the hand of your wife. So.
Do you think people still marry for love? I got married because I wanted everything to be cheaper.
But marriage is cool. If I take your lips and I kiss you right now.
I don't understand. I don't know. My lips have become a topic of discussion. Welcome to Love Lounge. We're talking about happily ever after, and to do that, I have two happily married people here with me. How you doing, baby? Thank you. How do you know I'm happy? How do you know? I was there at your wedding. You look very, very, very happy. Yeah. And Oscar also, daddy of two.
I'm very happy.
Extremely.
Can tell from my face.
Welcome back to Love Lounge. Omacha is about to explain the difference between being alone and being alone.
Ooh, being alone with him.
Yes. Excuse me, please. Let me tell you something about marriage that I did not know. And it's a wonderful feeling. You can prank anywhere, anytime, without conscience in you. You can prank and then go to church the next day and say, Father, thank you. Thank you for the good chimes I got last night. You carried your ringers up. Yes. I practiced today. Judge me. I'm married now.
What are you talking about?
It's a prank.
What's that?
Knack. Yash.
Why don't you say
Smokes. But there's serious issues about marriage, though. I got married, like I said before. I was one of those people, I had my own, I had already organized what I wanted because there were too many idiots in Nigeria. So no offense. Some boys are just stupid.
I'm a man.
Some men are just stupid, just so you know.
I'm a grown man.
So there are too many of those guys. And then I know what I want. You can't be giving me nonsense. And he was my friend all this time. So do you understand? So all the nonsense. Wait, so was he the one you'd go and tell, can you imagine what this other guy did?
Friend zone.
I did tell friend zone the guy for long. I didn't even give and get friend. That's not friend. You brother zoned him. He was like your cousin. He's like, get over here, you're mine. Yes. And like I said before, because I was okay, but I asked myself, I'm actually cool with this person. We're cool. And our foundation is we're pretty much alike. And we feed off of each other. It's not the romantic, oh my God, no.
Is there any romantic, oh my God, anymore?
You see, there is.
There is?
Yes. But I'm very realistic. I'm very hood. I didn't have it all given to me, so I know what it is to be on the streets and all of that craziness. And he was cool as well with me. We had the same, ideologies or beliefs. And you also work in the same industry. Yes. Do you think that helps? Is it important to marry someone who works in the same industry as you? Do they understand
I wouldn't say same industry. I would say find things in common. It's just that in our case, it was the industry. In another person's case, it could be Harley Davidson.
You don't have to be. Actually, I'm of the school of thought that you don't have to have the same things in common. Just have an understanding of what this other person likes.
I got a different view on this whole opposites attracts kind of philosophy that the opposites attract better. But there's sometimes that when you like the same things,
it helps.
It helps. It bridges. It helps. I remember when I was on air with then my girlfriend. And we'll just literally just had a fight, but we'll be on air and nobody would know. So we're like, this is K1, blah, blah, blah. We'll be right back after this break. Then put down, and we just be like. There was no Twitter and Snapchat and anything, so we had to just form activity somehow. So I think that works. If it's the number one advice you take away from watching this show is find something in common. No matter how, if it's one thing, find it in common.
Do you think in this age of Snapchat and social media and everything that we do where we're kind of advanced with our lives, is marriage still as relevant and as important as it used to be? And should we all get married? Is it an institution we should continue to invest in?
Of course. It's an institution we should, but there are a lot of distractions.
But why?
Now.
You can slide into DMs and brap all you want.
God in those days, they still used to brap, but there was no DMing. It's just that now there's just more brapping. It's just in public. It's your bottom is all, oh, God. Just send a picture now. Marriage is an institution that I think...
a sacred institution.
Actually very sacred institution. And a lot of us are not responsible for ourselves anymore. We're used to blaming. And when you refuse to take responsibility, and marriage is a form of responsibility as well, it's a decision, actually. You decide to love somebody because it's not like they can't love somebody else. It's not like there's no person somewhere in the world that you will see and like, oh God, we are so connected. Wow, woo. You will always meet that person. I'm telling you, like, this guy's chest gold, everything I wanted. What?
Her thing is chest. It always comes up in conversations.
I'm so sorry.
Chest.
I'm bottom. I have to squeeze.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm gonna like this.
Yeah.
So you chose to wake up every morning and only squeeze one bottom and chest for the rest of your life.
I don't really squeeze one bottom. Well, there are two. So to measure it, I would say, baby, this week, can I just press this one? Just randomly, maybe
This is a human being, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he knew what he was getting into, So he's in the kitchen. He's just, helping me clean the gas cooker. I'll just squeeze it. I say, oh, baby. Sorry. But it's a serious thing. And people are taking it for granted now because of the show involved in marriage. There's now Ashrebi, #Ashrebi.
There's a lot more noise about the marriage than the wedding. Than the marriage
itself.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, to add to what you said, you have to learn to love. You also have to learn to compromise. I think that's one of the greatest things you need to learn, compromise.
We have messages on Facebook and Twitter, which I want to read, but right after we come from this break. You're watching Love Lounge. I have Oscar and Omalicha, the bomb grabber with me.
We're squeezing.
And we'll be back to squeeze some more chest and bomb-bombs after this.
Feel violated.
Welcome back to Love Lounge. I have a message here on Twitter from Bant Over, and it reads as follows. Women need husbands, men need wives. One is not a favor to the other. All this I don't need her BS is just to get over your loneliness. Do you think that sometimes people get into committed relationships just because they're afraid of being lonely? Because you said something earlier about you wanted to be alone with this person, alone kind of. But do you think people do that? The opposite side of it sometimes.
Because they're alone.
They're scared of being alone and they don't enjoy it.
Of course people do that, of course. People, I mean, that's the same reason why somebody breaks up with guy A today. Before you say Jack Robinson, you haven't gotten over guy A, you enter guy B, you guys have a relationship, you have a problem with being alone.
Oh, you just have a lot of love to give. And so just because you've been broken up with doesn't mean you should live with your heartbreak.
What is love though?
Some people can actually deal with being alone.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of those. I've had like
you need to hold on to
4 relationships, and I don't need to hold on to anything. About 4
so bum breast or chest? Which one?
Show me breast. I'm a bum
breast
guy.
Man. Bum guy.
Bum breast.
And hence,
breast bum.
Titi.
Bum breast.
Oh, attack and defense, you get them.
I feel so sorry for her. Like, only God knows what
everything is intact. It's good.
So you just press her every round of...
Are we talking about my wife or a teddy bear?
Your wife.
Okay.
Your wife.
My wife.
Yes.
So, back to the subject.
Yes.
Some people can't be lonely. I, for example, I found this out later that I can't actually deal with being alone. I must be with someone. I must engage someone.
So what happens when your wife travels?
No, not from that point. I mean, there's
you have to
Skype.
be with someone. Okay.
But you must be in. You know, the longest I've been alone is like 4 weeks. From relationship to as in, yeah.
Do you know who you are? Like, do you know who you really are?
Oh yeah, I know. I know who I am. and
your name is Oscar.
When I got into that trend, I found that was a trend, unconscious to me. So I can relate with that. I can relate with that message. And there's some people who are wired to channel their selves through other people. If that makes sense.
I understand what you mean. They need other people to
So they need
exist.
validation. They need comfort. They need solace. They need someone to press them. Whatever.
But isn't that dangerous?
It is, but that's the way they are. They don't know any other way to exist than to be with someone. Unfortunately, what happens is some people take that and take it to the next step, and then they get into a marriage. And when it becomes uncomfortable, biggie. You get. So,
do you think people still marry for love, or are you finding that more and more people in Nigeria at the moment are marrying because it's convenient, there's money involved, or I'm marrying someone who has a family name that I want to be associated with?
of course.
Because I've seen some people get separated from their partners, and they've been separated for years, but they refuse to get divorced because they still want to be Mrs. whoever that person is.
That's it now.
Because
the culture that we have here, it's kind of glorifies marriage at the wedding as opposed to the marriage, because everyone disappears. No one asks you, how are you doing? I'm living, well, except immediate family, you know. So a lot of women are pressured, especially once you hit 30. They start pressurizing you. So you're like, you know what, I want to be married. And they feed you with information like, I say your mate that is marrying Dangote. Where is Dangote's son? So in your mind, when you're thinking about marriage, you're thinking about Dangote's son. So obviously you want to get married because of the name Dangote. So it's
I've even met, I recently met a friend who both decided that they're not going to have kids.
Right.
because
That's rare.
It's rare, but
For a Nigerian couple.
They're
we'll
both
take
on
them
the
to
same.
MFM now. Just watch.
No, they're both on the same page, and they're like, we don't want to have kids. We just want to have money.
And enjoy
I want
life.
to spend it. And that exactly is, I think, the foundation of marriage.
Understanding each
Both
other.
of
What
you should be
guys
on the
want,
same
yeah.
page. Now, to the whole world, it might be weird.
But as long as they understand each other, it's fine.
It's fine. So once you understand the person you are with,
Yeah, once you guys agree.
yeah. And
There's
that's
a
why
rhythm to
it's
it.
difficult for me sometimes to give advice when it comes to
Yeah.
relationships, because it's like fingerprint is like a snowflake. It's unique.
Yeah.
If I take your lips and I kiss you right
I don't
now,
understand.
just an example.
It's minty, apparently, his lips.
I don't know.
that
My
is.
lips have become a topic of discussion.
How you would react to it is different from how another lady, and that's the same thing for marriage. And
For
just,
me, I've only been married a minute. Me, I'm just enjoying the perks. It's very cheap. I suggest you marry. It's a cheap endeavor. And second of all, there's plenty cracking.
is that's just
That's the
it
part
for you?
she's enjoying. Now, are there any misconceptions about marriage that you had before?
Oh, yeah.
And then the reality of being in the marriage? You've been married how many years now?
It's going to be 5 years.
And you're coming up to about a year.
It's a minute.
And
Just a year.
I was at your bridal shower.
Oh, yes.
And there were ladies around, and they were giving you advice, don't do this and don't do that and things like that. So were there any misconceptions or things that you assumed would happen once you got married? Did it happen? And are there things that you thought would happen and hasn't happened?
No. I didn't marry young, one. And I didn't come, my background as a child, it wasn't very structured. I came from a very dysfunctional home. So I knew what I wanted. I opened my mind to knowledge, as in reading the Bible, experiencing relationships. I knew what I wanted. So when I see somebody who is not in line with me, when you're trying to force me to do certain things, I'm like, no, we cannot be together in the same house. I will just kill you. And because of my experience, I knew what I did not want in my marriage, and I knew what marriage was. I think it was just a blessing.
What's marriage to you then?
It's working. It's a rhythm that two of you.
Did you have to
together.
say rhythm?
I'm sorry. Oh, we're sorry.
We take two.
Have to plug it in there.
Take two. But marriage is cool.
It's when you guys are friends.
Anymore? Is it smooth for you?
It's very
Is this an
inspirational.
inspiration?
And it gives you that beat.
Is there a beat inside? Do you feel like a star? Or more like you're in the
Who's gonna add
metropolitan city of
tuwa now?
Lagos?
And there's a lot of tuwa in there.
Is it a bond? Tiwa star?
Exactly, tuwa.
Sorry, carry on.
It's like marrying somebody from the overs. Your structure here is different from their structure. Their belief is different from... You people have to come to a level... Because when you have children now, you say, stop that! Don't put your hand there!
Like, mommy.
The girl will now say, don't smack him, Mr. Lego! Fight starts. Mahala, don't shell. Next thing here, I want a divorce! You see, so it's an understanding that two people have to... You have to make up your mind to come together, to be together. So you know that no matter how much you people shout at each other in the house... Like, the other day we had an argument. And I'm headstrong sometimes.
You
I'm quite
Just
headstrong.
a little bit. We have to take a break, but I hope you're going to remember what you're about to say. All right, cool. Thank you for watching. Please keep your messages coming in. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Love Lounge. Omacha is about to explain to us this epic fight that she had that gave her this idea that marriage is beautiful.
We usually just have arguments because you're living in the same house. Somebody that you never, you guys didn't grow up together. All of that crazy. No matter how close you are, you still fight.
What's the argument?
And then I'm not gonna tell you.
Please, it's on TV.
I don't even know what I did. I think it was about towel. Yes. Don't touch my towel. Alex, I've told you. When you use the towel, put it back on the... Just hang it for me.
But what's the big deal about sharing towels, though? Seriously. I
It's
get
not
that
so much the sharing. It's having the wet towel on a bed, on the floor. This is something I'm going to use at some point. Can you not hang it?
It's just a towel.
What's wrong with your hand? The same hand you used to carry it. You can't put it back?
Oh, my God.
But it's a towel.
Can I call you when this is happening? Can I be calling you this? But then again, I have to understand that he's a guy, and you guys don't really see all these things, so they don't really think like
they don't understand it.
Then
what do you see? It's not to wipe water.
Excuse me, I'm telling the story.
What story?
I left the room, went downstairs to go and watch TV, just flipping. He now came to me. Since I cannot leave this house for you, you have to make amends. So, and I cannot keep my list. So please, let's just make. See, it's an understanding, and I just said laughing.
And makeup sex is always great after that.
Okay, so let's talk about your misconception about marriage then. And was it what things did you think it would be like before you got married? And what was the reality of it?
For me, it tested my threshold for patience.
Hey,
my father,
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, my father, I've never seen my father raise his voice against my mom. They've been married like 40 years.
Wow.
So I grew up with that upbringing, and I thought, man, it
was normal.
Perfect gentleman.
Yes, chemistry or understanding there.
But your mumu button is in the hand of your wife. So big shout out to TITI. And I got to the point where I didn't realize how much anger I could have, because when you let somebody in totally.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic feeling, but it's also a vulnerability.
Yeah, so
And my wife and I had to work on that in terms of
trust, yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the incident. It was just the fact that you've been with me so long. Why can't you get this? And the same thing for me to her. So those were some of the things and then another thing I always tell people, marriage is not going to change who you are. A lot of people get into marriage with expectation that you wave a wand and it actually amplifies your true nature.
Yeah.
For example, towel. You can't share towel.
No, I don't have a problem with sharing it, but when you use it, how about you just so I can use it.
And then when you see it's dirty,
put it there.
Why did you hang it back up?
It's not.
It's dirty.
I don't use a towel for
the laundry bin is right there.
Talk to us about it.
You know what? You know what? It's just a towel. We can hang it.
It's not just a towel.
Express yourself.
The toilet seat is not just a toilet seat.
Exactly.
The toilet water is not just a toilet water. It's just toilet water, please. We take a shit at number 1 and number 2.
And patience. I think patience as well.
Yeah, it will test you.
Sometimes when I get really angry, I know that he's not doing this to deliberately hurt me. So don't get angry. Do you understand? So I just know that
I think you're good to remember that, because sometimes when you're angry, you're not always, and I hate to say this out loud, you're not always sensible.
No, you're not.
So it's not that you're trying to be mad or you think this person hates you, but in that moment, you're not thinking about...
And please, when you're mad, we've read it, we've heard about it, but it's true, don't say some things.
Yeah, and
calm down.
I literally just walk out. I walk out, or I go and watch a movie, or
no.
I grab a wet towel.
It can only work for them. Let me explain. What if your lover is the type that used to say, let's address the issue now?
Right now.
And then you don't want to.
Let me explain. I used to stammer when I'm really angry, so I'll walk out or just throw something at the person.
You stammer?
You're very stupid. And then with him, he would say to me, because I would say to him, look, I've thought about everything I want to do, and I'm going to hurt you with my words, and I will never apologize to you, which was a very bad thing.
And sexy too. Go on.
Oh, my hello, my bum lover. He would say to me, calm down. It's me. I will never intentionally hurt you, so speak to me. When you are angry, like this toilet incident, oh my God, I left there for you. I left the room for you. I came downstairs. Why are you following me? Why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me. Right now, I don't like you. So there are words you use so that you don't insult each other. And I don't know. That's another thing. It hurts me when I see people who say I love you to each other, literally use words like, you are mad, you are stupid, useless woman. how did you people get there?
Yeah.
How did you start? You know what that means? It's okay to be angry at each other, but don't be saying things like, you are mad, useless woman, idiot, you'll never make it in life. Huh.
No, that's
and
very destructive.
There's some other words, it's quite, but what I find out is that you get to know a lot more about your lapses during the arguments. There's some things that are hidden down here that has been there. And then
that's
when
why
you're
you
angry,
just
comes
left
out.
the wrapper on the table.
Yes, something like that.
You not be saying rapper. What rapper?
When?
At 4 o'clock.
Well,
August 2003. You left the rapper.
I don't think that. That's
Women
another
are good
thing
with
that
this.
I suggest that when you have it, because women are different from men. When you're angry with the man that you love, talk to him about it, because that thing will just keep building and building, and one day you just explode.
We've run out of time for this week.
Oh,
Thank you so much for tuning in.